good logistic center so that Cambodia can be used as a platform to attract FDI, to create a factory here, and then export the product to the Greater Mekong Sub-region or to the ASEAN with consumer over 600 million consumers. So we continue to invest heavily in infrastructure. But again, we need also private sector participation to build additional infrastructure in Cambodia.
So the government of Cambodia is very open to private sector participation. I think that's good to hear. If I may just move to President Jin, the AIIB, of course, is a major player in funding infrastructure development across the world and especially in ASEAN. When you look at an infrastructure project that you would be participating in with any one country, is there a broader strategy in terms of looking at a project and how it would improve connectivity within the region?
Thank you very much for the question. Yes, we do. We do have an overall program for the infrastructure investment in ASEAN countries, in Asia, and as you know, since we have borrowing countries from across the world, we would have to look beyond Asia, but that's the next step. Infrastructure investment could be very productive, but if it's not well coordinated, it could be disconnected and a waste of resources. And some infrastructure projects could be a white elephant. So we are very much careful about this. We are early in the stage, and we're just mapping out our development program for ASEAN and for other regions. We have a vice president in charge of policy and strategy. This office looks after the country balance, regional balance, sector balance. Now, let's talk about ASEAN countries. And when I was the vice president of AIIB, I looked after the operations for ASEAN countries, the Mekong sub-region. We understand how important it is for all of those economies to be connected. You build a road, you build a railway, or power transmission airlines. For us, the priority is not just the importance of the project for the countries itself, but whether there will be positive spillover impact on the neighboring countries, on the region as a whole. But we also try our very best to encourage the private sector to participate in infrastructure investment. The buy-in of private sector is crucial. And in this regard, we appeal to all of the governments in ASEAN countries to have better policy coordination and custom harmonization, regulatory harmonization. That will really help make the infrastructure investment go a long way. So when we say the conundrum, the hard question, if we all work together like that, the hard question would be very easy to resolve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think moving from the macro to maybe a little bit more localized, if I may move to the minister from Thailand. Thailand, of course, is a regional co-production base and a intra-regional and trade hub within the Indochina area. From Thailand's perspective, what kind of projects are, when you think about infrastructure and connectivity, of course, it must be good for Thailand, but do you also think about that it should be good for Cambodia, or it should be good for Myanmar, which are your neighbors, or even further afield? How do you factor those issues into your planning?
Thank you very much. On Thailand, actually, we have been using the infrastructure-led growth for more than 50 years. Because 50 years ago, we believed that only roads and electricity to the rural area can bring the goods from the farmers to the market. So it's quite successful 50 years ago. And that was the mainly domestic infrastructure. But 25 years later, we started to think about how we connect with the neighboring country. And thanks to the former vice president of AIIB, that was very helpful in organizing the forum of the Mekong sub-region. So after that, after 25 years, we started to look at the sub-region, how we connected. The only thing that I think the easiest way is how to connect with road. So road and bridges. Because the Mekong sub-region connected, there's a Mekong River, okay? So at the time, then we started to look at how to build a road crossing the country. But it's not only the road, but including the power transmission. This is so-called the cross-border infrastructure, and also telecommunication as well. And then at the time, the road is very important, and east way, and thanks to the International Financing Organization. And 5 years ago, we started to think about the road is efficient because it's door-to-door delivery. But it's going to be more efficient if we can move from road to rail. And then 5 years ago or 10 years ago, then we started to think about how we connect with rail. And we start, to work with our neighboring country, and as well as with China as well, to connect, because China is a big market, and also has to send the goods to Thailand as well. So that's the way that we are working on it, okay? And when we're talking about you mentioned about Conundrum.
Yes.
I think there are two aspects. One is the hardware, and secondly on the software. I think if you're talking about the puzzle, what's the problem of the infrastructure? I think there's no problem at all at this moment physically. But we have to think about the cross-border rules and regulation. That's more important, how to make your infrastructure more value. And our philosophies in Thailand now change. Infrastructure itself can stimulate the growth in a period of time. But how you can make use of the infrastructure is more important. So whatever infrastructure project, roads within Thailand, or the cross-border road, rails, then if you can develop the lands and develop the commercial area along the infrastructure, and then you can get more return on the project. So that's our policy and plan. Let me explain a little bit. Infrastructure also support our production based. Thailand now, we look at our Eastern Economic Corridor, which is used to be the Eastern Seaboard economic development. And it's proved very successful because we have one of the big deep sea port, so that any country in the sub-region can use our deep sea port. But in connectivity, it doesn't mean that only domestic. Connectivity within the city is also important. So you can look at Thailand now, connectivity within the Bangkok. You have to have the more efficient transport infrastructure within the capital city. Secondly, between city, Bangkok and other city. So we have so many railway projects as well as the motorway, making the people to move faster and on time. And then the cross-country infrastructure.